We have got a world champ special. Welcome back to the Insiders. We're back. Weirdly, didn't think we'd be talking much WSL shit until next year now, but we have got a world champ special, so we're here. How you doing, Daz?
I'm doing pretty good, Matty. It's absolutely peltering down, cats and dogs outside, and the cats and dogs that I can see have got jackets on because they're freezing. And there was an expression back in the day, it's bloody freezing, Uncle Johnny. That was what I grew up with on Fraser Island, and you could nearly throw in it's duck and freezing Uncle Johnny out there tonight.
Yes, there's a
Oh,
in,
incoming hail. I'll turn up the volume. Sorry for yelling, audio notes.
we've had that. We've had a massive cold snap. There's a saying here that it's brass monkeys outside, which is a Cockney rhyming slang. It's to do with the ships and the cannonballs and stuff. Anyway, I won't go deep into the Cockney lesson, but we
Oh,
do have.
we often would say that you could freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
That's it, yeah.
There
Um,
you go.
so warming us up is news that we have something like 21 world titles coming back to the tour next year within the shape of four people. My maths might be slightly wrong there. Uh, anyway,
I'm not into that sort of counting up how many they've got each and saying all that sort of rigmarole, Matty. But there's the four, and that's the most dominant four surfers of the last 15 years. And so a big call. Let's say the last 10 years. They've both been out of the water for the last, out of the competition scene for the last couple of years. Are they coming back hot to trot? Yes. Can they match it, Matty?
um, yes, I think so.
We'll go one by one, eh?
Yeah, I agree with you. Four very, very different years off as well. But we can go through one by one, but compare them through and through. So obviously, I mean, let's start with Steph. I think that Steph has probably been the most active surf-wise from what you could see in the last 12 months out of the four. She's done she was obviously in a WSL competition. She's done a couple of like novelty events and obviously been free surfing a lot and doing some parts, Milk and Honey with Katie and Coco and Frankie Hara. So Steph's been the most active.
You think, I mean, like, I don't follow. I try to do my best to not follow too many of them, but I'm gonna. And unfortunately, when you don't follow people, unless they're in some sort of event, uh, you don't see them so much. But I haven't seen her like drop any. Ah, does she drop edits?
Well,
I
Steph,
don't
yeah, I
know.
mean Steph's done. If you actually look back at the year, Steph's done
That
quite a
Milk
bit.
and Honey's older. They filmed that the year before, correct?
They filmed that the end of the season she came off of. Um, so it's kind of it's within the 12 months just maybe. But like she was in the Newcastle event. Was it Newcastle? Yeah, she was in no, Burley, the one that got moved.
It was in Burley.
She was in the
That
Burley event. She's
that's
been
fantastic.
she's been surfing a lot. She's been doing some birch, she's been putting out quite a bit. You see quite a lot with Dan Scott dropping edits of her. Um, I think she's been the most active. You could probably argue maybe that John has been just as active, but
Yeah, I think he has. I'm looking here. Dream team clear for takeoff. This looks pretty good. Steph Gilmore, Mick Fanning, and Mason Ho. in a light aircraft coming into somewhere. It could be Phillip Island or somewhere down there in Vico. It's hard to tell, but that'll be a cracker of an edit. To to just say that, for example, Steph's a carry alone actor sort of thing, isn't she? She's a headliner.
She is a headliner,
She doesn't
100%.
need she doesn't need a supporting cast. When she's got a supporting cast like Mick and Mason, it's ridiculous. So, but I think she's gonna have the hardest run of all of them.
I think I don't. I think Carissa's going to have the hardest run.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, straight new mother, 1 year back. It's pretty tough, pretty tough. It's not that toughest, honestly, it's not tougher than coming straight back into working 5 days a week, 39 hours a week in a real job, as well as getting to working back and picking your kid up from the maternity nunu or or daycare center. I do think they talk all that up about the sportsmen, but they're known for that, for being very dramatical, aren't
yeah, but I do think that in this case, I think a mum is different. I think there's like she has to surf every day. That is her 9 to 5. That's her version of my job or whatever. But she's got a kid to look after, and obviously like her body's been through heaps, like and is he
doesn't the guy have to look after the kid too?
yeah, but I think a mum is the closest thing to a baby. Like they
It
carried
is.
it for
It is.
9.
It is at the start. So
Yeah.
I was waiting for this to come up because it was such a coincidence that I saw I don't know how I saw it. Uh, Someone posted a picture. Toby Martin, I follow him. Toby Martin used to be on the World Tour, really good commentator, great surfer from Sydney. And I watched, because of a post he did with a picture with Lisa Anderson, I watched a documentary on Lisa Anderson. Have you ever seen that?
No, but I've heard of her story, and something like she was surfing 2 weeks after having a kid or something crazy.
She won her first world title after having the kid and won 4 world titles after having the kid at 23 years old.
Yeah, and you might not agree with this, and I might get comments about this or whatever, but the women's tour back then were like anyone on the tour right now would finish 1, 2, or 3 in the women's tour back then, in
Yeah,
my
but that's
opinion.
you can't compare, dude. They didn't have the same boards. They didn't have the same opportunities. They didn't back then, women were still ripping. I'm telling you,
But back then, women weren't
there
asked.
was girls on my coast that ripped the bag out of it. It was just before Lane Beachley came on.
I'm not
There
saying
was some.
girls. I'm not saying girls didn't rip. I'm saying the tour was shit. Back then, the girls were put out in the shit. They weren't asked to surf pipe. They weren't asked to surf like on the best days or on the good days at Chopes and on the.
So therefore, you can't compare. She still beat all the others and went and become 4 times world champ as a young mother. Traveled the world with the mother. So I just don't think that's as much of an issue as people are trying
What
to make it out to be.
my point on that though is as a mother, and this does apply to a father. If you're paddling into a bomb at pipe and you've got no kids and like kind of thing, you have, or if you say you've got a new kid sat on the beach, you must have something like in you like that is like I need to be careful. I can't.
No, no. Look, I've got 2 kids.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're nuts.
54. I got 2 kids. I'm 54. It's the last thing I'm thinking of. If you've got a bomb coming towards you, you're just excited. And these people, they do it all the time. They're the most selfish
Yeah,
people in the world. Most selfish people, hands down. Like Kelly
but
Slater, it's a, drop anything to go for a surf.
I do think though that when you look at say we split them in half, when you're comparing Steph to Carissa, Carissa has had more time out of the water, no doubt, because of obviously being pregnant and giving birth and stuff than Steph would have had. Now, obviously,
Tour's not starting for it. Come on. It's not
Yeah,
starting for another 5 months, or 5.5 months.
but
5.5 months. That would have crazy. But we've talked about this before. It's just stupid. 5.5 months time. She's already had the kid for a year. You, as a man, you're not a woman. So there you go. So how do you don't know they don't actually get stronger?
yeah, true. But then also like, what about if she has 5 months worth of her kid waking her up at 12 o'clock every night, like, and she's not able to do what she used to. She's not able to do what she used to do. That's I guess my point. But Bethany Hamilton's had plenty of kids. She surfs real good. Alana surfs real
I think
good.
it's got nothing to do with the fact that she's becoming a mother. I'm just wondering if it's she can go left a lot better than Steph.
Yeah,
Steph's
but but
going. Steph's
Steph,
not going
but
to get.
Steph can go right a lot better than Carissa.
Yeah. Yes, she can go right better than anyone. And I think the tour next year is still uh, pretty right orientated, isn't it?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I think so. Looks
I
like it.
mean, Steph can win theoretically. Steph can win pipe because if it's backdoor,
Yep, she's not too bad.
she's got the skills for backdoor. Full year review.
I mean, J Bay's
It's going
back.
full year review of the. I don't want all tours. I want the. I've got to put it in view.
Well, you know that J Bay's back. We know that they go. It looks like Snapper
It's Rip Curl straight into Margie's. So right. Gold Coast, right.
and Steph's home.
Poitarunca, right. Sakurama,
Wonky.
wonky left. Jeffries, right. So by the time it gets to July, if she's not in the lead, she's not going to win because August, Chopes, Cloud Break, then Lower Trestles, the Pool, Paniche, Pipe. It's a great tour. It's a
And
great
Steph's
tour.
and you look at Steph at Trestles, like next level. She bulldozed the top five there like 2 years ago.
So really, the three thorns in the side are going to be Chopu, Cloudbreak, and Pipe Masters. Now, if she
But
wanted to, she could just literally go to Cloudbreak now for
yeah,
4 months.
saying that, my prediction right now is that Steph and Carissa don't make the top five.
Yeah, I'm backing that. Oh no, I think they'll make the top five because I think there's Molly, Katie, um,
I think Erin Brooks is going to come good next year.
maybe she's getting older. Maybe she's getting older. Maybe. But what if Aaron Brooks comes up against Stefan Carissa straight off the bat in the first few comps? Because they just got so much experience, man. Carissa's absolute weapon
Yeah,
when
but
it
like
comes to
you said
comp.
about, Erin Brooks got a 10 the last time she surfed Snapper.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that was one wave. She
but
didn't
she's
get
fucking
any.
legit. And
I know that, but
Car-
you got to win heats after heats, don't you?
Caroline Marks. Oh, obviously the top five isn't a thing anymore, but I mean like in the
I
top
don't think
five.
there's
But
five female surfers that are above them. Like three, maybe. Like, and I wonder if it's not going to be a tough year for Katie.
I think Katie's gonna win it. Um, I think you've just said that all of those rights. She's really good at pipe. All of
How
those
old
rights,
is how old is Steph? Is it 38? It's pretty rad that she's
36.
doing it. It's fantastic. Have they put her on the tour yet? No, they haven't even put her on.
I think she's 36. Or she's 36 or 37. She's a year older than me. Um, moving on from that slight conversation, then to the other side.
Stephanie Gilmore, there we go. I've got her up. She is 43K, 37.
Yeah.
So she'll be 38 next year for the tour. Unreal. All
Um,
good. Sully going to be on there with her?
Sally's qualified, isn't she? Basically.
Sure, hasn't she? Well done. How
Yeah,
old's Sally? Bit younger than Steph?
fuck knows. Seems like she's older, but maybe same age. Um, moving on from Sally and Steph
She's
and all of
only
that.
34. She's a couple of years younger. So that's pretty rad. That's similar to the men's now. There's going to be
She
two
shouldn't be
older
allowed back
girls.
on tour though. She just shouldn't be allowed back on.
How come?
Because she just falls off every year and then requalifies on the Challenger.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
well, knock her out in the Challenger series, and she won't be back on.
but that's where there's clearly a if you qualify and then fall off every year, there's clearly a problem.
Yeah, there's clearly, well, we already know that one two is shit and the other two is good.
Yeah. Talking about that though, moving on to John and Gab, that's massive.
It is massive. I was waiting for Gab to drop because of all the four, I think he was for me, the one that was the most sure of coming back
Oh,
because
100%.
he was off because he had a
Yeah.
rip boob. He got his boob ripped off, didn't he? His
Yeah.
man boob. I
Titty.
just can't imagine how horrible that must feel.
Yeah. But Gabby's back, John's back. Fuck, like you gotta think like
So Gabby's back. He's a person who nearly like, let's rewind to 23 and 24. Was that after he come back after he broke up with his disastrous divorce with his ex, came back, and everyone thought he was like myself included, was a shoo-in to be top two, and he didn't win either titles.
and that's I think that's part of the reason why I think like Carissa and Steph aren't just going to walk back in and walk into it. Like I do think you get ring rust. I do think you get like there is a difference from,
He
and
is
I know
he's 3 times world champ, isn't he?
he is free
He's three
work.
times world champ,
Yeah,
like John. So
yeah,
that's a little bee in the bonnet for the two of them, isn't it? That not to let the other one get to four.
100%, definitely. And it's kind of funny that you just try and picture the year that's just gone past and like how well would those two have done in those waves and stuff, and you just I mean, every time that John's dropped a free surf edit in the last year, I've watched it and gone, he's surfing faster than anyone else
He
I've seen
can
this year.
take anyone, man.
Yeah,
That cloud break, like the first was a 2 minute Instagram reel. I
yeah.
love to say that word reel. That was as good as anything on the tour all year. And if we go back and say Rip Curl, I think he's won, and he surfs really good, by the
When you
way.
say Ripco, where what Bells?
Bells. He
Yeah,
surfs
yeah.
really good at bells, John. So he's nearly untouchable in Margie's, apart from Jack. Straight onto the Goldie, which surprisingly is one of his Achilles heels, even though you'd think he'd go good there, especially if it's tubing. Punta Ranca, which he can go pretty good
He
because he can
won the
bust
last
it.
time he
Yeah,
surfed there.
Sakarima, he's probably not too into. Doesn't really matter. He's got a
He's got a
throwaway.
he's got a very good record in Brazil. He won his first ever event in Brazil. He's won a couple there.
Then he goes straight into the John treble. J Bay chopes Cloudbreak. But that's also a Gabby treble too, isn't it?
Well, it's not. It's like a what is it? J-Bay Chopes Cloudbreak.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Ethan Ewing, J-Bay, John,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Gabby at
but
Chopes.
But if you were to pick two surfers, that would be the most dominant in that little. They should have a super series for that three comps. They're the three best
Yeah,
comps of the year, right smack bang in the middle. Then it all goes downhill for a while. It goes straight from Chopu, Cloudbreak to Trestles, which is still fun, Trestles, into the pool, finishes off in Wobbly Paniche, and then luckily finishes off in Hawaii.
Pippolina. And that's the thing as well about John is Pipe is worth 1.5 extra the points. So he could go into Pipe like fifth, win it, and win the world title. Like very exciting.
So you had to put 10. No, if you had to put like some freak come into the house with a gun and say, mate, you got to put 100 quid on who's going to win uh, the top, like pipe next year. Who would you pick?
What win pipe, but they might not then be the world title holder.
Yeah, no, let's not think world title.
Winning
Pipe.
pipe, John would put all my
There
money would go straight onto John.
that you got to put your money in. So he's finishing the year with pipe, but it's pretty hard to say anything about the world title because there's a lot of events coming up into that, and anything can happen. That's going to why it's going to be super interesting for Steph too, because
Yeah.
she could literally, if she's in form and we don't know how much energy she's got, she could win the first five comps.
Yeah, but also if you look at like if you look at last year, I think Molly Picklum hadn't actually won an event, but she was that consistent
But she's
that
come on so strong.
but that's what I'm saying. But she didn't win events, but she was finishing second, third, fourth in like almost every event. And before it even got to the final five, she was uncatchable. On the men's side, it was like tight, but even with 1.5 times the points, going if that format was the same as what they now changed it to, Molly would have been crowned a world title holder before she even
She
got
could
there.
have won J Bay, didn't she? Well, I think she blew something in the heat. Well, I thought she was going to win it. Uh, she was the year's most improved, and I got to think that the confidence. She's so young that the confidence is going to give her a super boost.
But
I'm just wondering.
on this,
I'm wondering if Katie's got the firepower. Sorry to cut you off.
I think Katie has. But my point more to this is like on this going back to that format, it's less about winning events and it's more about being the best surfer over the whole year, like consistently. You look at
If you win, you get big points. So I
yeah,
think
but if you win,
that's
if you do what if you do what Katie done last year, which was win events and then lose second, third round, versus what Molly done, which was finishing second, third, fourth every event, like because of the way the season is, obviously, it obviously like the accumulation of the points and the more consistent you are at that top end, but not winning, you're gonna win. You're gonna win the world title. So like, Steph could come in and win events, but then lose really early and like not win the world title. And someone could just be like finishing second, third, fourth every event, but be consistent across all events, and then they're world champ.
hmm.
Same as John
Sounds
and
a,
Gabby. I kind of think that
sounds a
about
little
John.
bit boring, that mathematical equation of yours there. But I tell you what, I'd like to. I'd love to send Steph a message from the insides or whatever, so she doesn't think I'm a freak, and say, look, can I coach you for the next 6 months? Because it's not 6 months, it's 4 months. I'd say, right, we're going straight away to cloud break now for a month. Then we're going. It's off season, but it'll still be Barrow. Then we're going to Chopu, for a few weeks. And then we're going to find what season are we coming into. It's Northern Hemisphere uh, winter. We got to find a hell left. If she's only allowed to go left for the next 4 months, with her ability, like she's a freak, huh? Like fluid and everything, I'm sure she could get to 75% of her frontside ability, uh, with like, and I wouldn't be actually coaching her. I'd bring the best backhand surfer in history. Not Kelly wouldn't probably want to come. Let's find so, there's plenty of people that have just got amazing backhand surfers like Arkell. Say, look, Arkell, that's your job. Even though he's got a baby, we've got to find someone with no baby. But do you know where I'm coming from? Someone with that much ability, if they're forced to do something that they don't usually do, surely they're going to get better at it.
Yeah, but isn't that the same for everyone?
Yeah, but every
Wouldn't
no,
you kind of say the same thing to Katie Simmers? You'd say, right, okay,
yeah, 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 but
you got 6 months
uh,
to go and work on your weakness. That's like it's literally like you got
so what's her weakness?
what Katie's
Yeah,
probably consistency. I mean,
I'd say power, unfortunately, because she's
yeah,
just smaller. That's all.
but she's got really good
Not her
timing.
fault.
But then again, like you're talking about like there's people coming onto tour now, like Tia Zabrowski can she's one of the most consistent.
There you go. She could be top five first year. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
because she
wild.
can do airs, and like there's still not a lot of girls on tour who can do airs in a heat. And
And she
I
surfed Chopu a bunch of times.
Seth Chopes loads. She's she's fucking really good. I mean, she's going to be good at snapper. Like thinking about her French kind of like performance, she's
And honestly, like youth, especially women who mature faster than boys, by 15, she'll be 15 next year, I think it is. Isn't it? Yeah,
she's
she's
15
going to be
now.
Tia.
Yeah, she's 15 now. Yeah,
Yeah, like in the gymnastics, they're winning gold medals at that age. They've got unlimited confidence and progression.
yeah. And Tia is a she won't look small. Like some people when they qualify, you're thinking, oh, are they going to look a little bit small? I mean, Ethan Ewing when he qualified, he looked small against the rest of the tour when he was 17. She's not going to. She's like you put her next to Katie and they look on par in terms of like power output and stuff.
A few times last year, it seemed like the women's tour had a little bit more spunk to it, but you'd have to think with JJ and Gabrielle back, the
Yeah,
ultimate rivalry that we never ever saw. Like
but
two,
also
like
with when you add like when they like if you go back like 2 or 3, but say like you go back 3 or 4 years, right? It was John and Gabby, and there was a big gap between everyone else. But now you look and you've got John Gabby coming back. You've got Griff surfing better than he's ever surfed. Crosby's some of the clips Crosby's put out are fucking mental. Yago's obviously just won a world tour, um, a world title, sorry. Ethan is at his very, very best. Jack Robbo is fucking elite. Leo's surfing better than he's ever surfed. Like that, the men's side now when you add John and Gabby back into it, I don't think they're on a level above people anymore. I think it's a way closer playing
even
field.
in the men's, you think?
Yeah,
They're heavy hitters, man. Heavy hitters like Riss. Hey, let's just do like the commentators. Riss. So Riss has got 550,000 followers. Um, Steph 700,000. Like, they're full tilt media players. Obviously, Gabrielle's got the most of anyone. What about John? He must have yeah, 1.6 million. There's so okay, you like adding stuff up. There's 1.6 million plus the other two girls. There's 3 million of
I mean,
followers already. There'd be cross-pollinated followers that do them both. Gabby, what's he got?
5, 3.
13.4 million. Most of them are soccer players, so it doesn't really count. He doesn't have time to go on to his account, does he? And unfollow people either.
No, I just think I don't know what the I don't know like doesn't matter how I mean they're probably not even aware of what they're following is maybe Gabby is but just I just think that the men's tour going back to what you're saying I think the men's tour next year with these two added it adds a massive bit of spice and it literally like I'm a little bit worried about like fantasy surfer and betting on surfing next year because you're going to look down it and you're going to be like well he's fucking well good and he's well good and he's well good like even when you start to think about like Conor O'Leary is so good if I saw a heat and it was Conor
Yeah.
Conor O'Leary
One
versus
of the best
Medina
backhand surfers ever.
yeah if it's if we fast forward J Bay quarterfinals, Medina versus Conor O'Leary, I'm probably backing Conor O'Leary.
Okay, so we got people like on the women's side, Tia Zabrowski coming in like a flash. We've also got that new upstart from Jerry Gong, Sally Fitzgibbons. On the men's challenger, listen to this. Can any of these dudes make any sort of dent in this year? Eli Hanahan. I'm
No,
going one by Samuel Pupo,
maybe.
Oscar Berry,
No,
Luke Thompson.
No.
George Pitter,
Yes.
Cowley,
Yes.
Mateus, Hurdy.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm putting no. Liam O'Brien,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm going to say maybe too. Jacob Wilcox.
If Liam's a maybe, Jacob's a maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing, and then Winter Vincent, who
Too young.
I really like, he's surfing and everything, but of that 10, there's no one that you're just going to think, that one out of that whole 10 that I think's got the most potential would be Cowley Bust, just
Me too.
because he's just got X factor. It's nothing to do with the Olympics. He's just an absolute tube riding freak. He can switch foot and everything. And maybe he's one of those people that when they get onto the actual world tour with like class events and bigger surfers, he's also got a really good backside. Um,
I
and
agree.
Jacob Wilcox is kind of in the same kettle of fish as Cowley because even though he's at the bottom there, he's ninth now after being right at the front. The wheels could all fall off for him. But he's one of the sort of people that could win pipe or cloud break or
Yeah.
chokes, like actually win it.
I think your point about Cowley is I do think the better the waves, the better he performs. Like we've seen him in World Tour events, we've seen him in the Olympics and at Chopes and other World Tour events where
He always steps up, doesn't
he
he?
raises his game. Um, I think Liam O'Brien might be one of the most unluckiest surfers in the world. I swear
He's a full
he
sleeper.
he always loses with the highest heat score. Like if he was in any other heat, he would have won the heat, but the person he just gets unlucky. The person he goes against gets a 10 or whatever. Like and
His hacks are so viciously elegant that I think they're being underscored. So it'll be a mega year for him to
there is
to actually try and put his imprint there, which is someone like Ryan Callahan was unable to do because he had the same, like Ryan Callahan, like we all thought, like one of the best surfers you ever see. Like when you see him in his edits, you think if only they could do it in heats, but not everyone can do it in a heat, can they?
no, and I also think with Liam on the new format, if he's got the full year, I think it changes the game completely as well. It's like I feel a bit sorry for like people like Jacko Baker because I reckon Jacko Baker with a full year on tour would never have fallen off tour, but
Mm.
they were victims of the cut, and that fair, it is what it is. You've got to play what's in front of you. But I think if
That's why I'm sick of all these crybabies as well going on about how Carissa should have 7 world titles. She's got 5. She lost. It's okay.
it's
They're
bullshit as
saying
well
that she
because
got robbed. All this stuff. That's what the rules were. She lost.
and one of the years Tyler won it. So if anything, she should have 6 world titles. If that's their argument, it should be 6, not 7 anyway. The idiots. Um,
Well, it's just it's
it is
I
stupid. It's you, and it's weird. You don't hear people saying it about,
don't hear her saying it.
and I've not heard it say. No one's saying it about any. I mean, it's harder to say about anyone on the men's side because everyone that won the tour won the thing.
I
But
think we've forgotten someone on the men's side, even though he's not coming back, but he did take time off. He's come back. What about Felipe? Where does Felipe fit into all this?
I think he fits right in on that, especially
On that,
over that.
on that schedule?
Yeah, and over that time, I think he will be there. I don't think he'll win it, because I think he won't be good enough in 3 or 4 of the events, but he's going to be there or thereabouts, and he's going to be good. He's moved back to Brazil, so he's moved out of San Clemente, moved back to Brazil.
That's good,
Um,
huh?
I think that's good, and I think he's going to be pretty dangerous next year.
That's an incredible 5 events for him to kick off to a rip.
Yeah,
Bells, Margie's, Snapper, Punta Roca, Sakurima, Jeffreys Bay, 6 in a row.
those forget the first two, and those 4 that you mentioned, where it's like what Punta Roca, Snapper, J Bay,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Maybe not so much the first 2, even though he's insane at Bells.
because he's just not. I
But
know he's won it, but he's not great at Margie's. But those other four, like with no cut and stuff, he could go back to back. He could win four in a row and just be cruising. But then he won't get any
And,
points at
and
Chopes, and he won't get much at Cloudies. Um,
see, see, I think Steph's got a real Achilles heel in Surf Abu Dhabi. Abu 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 Dhabi.
ooh,
Abu Abu
maybe,
Dhabi.
maybe, but she might
There's
not.
no
You
way
know?
she can be on the leaderboard going left. That's the difference. That's what the
Yeah,
great
true.
world champs, Oki, Slater, Andy Irons,
But that
they get
that event
so
is
big backside. JJF,
that's one of
Medina,
those weird events, isn't it? Where there's not everyone's in it.
Lisa Anderson.
It's only the top 24 are in that event. Um, that one and Paniche is a bit one of those weird ones where only
But
24
you
of them
don't, but you
surf
just don't watch Paniche.
it. I'll watch it. I like it. I like it the fact that it's going to be in October and not in March as well. But it's going to be super interesting. I mean, like I said at the start of the episode, I didn't expect us to be talking about the WSL right now, and I think we probably won't speak about it again for a few months because I think this is most of the news.
It's current press. So anyway,
Yeah,
here's a Kukul core, or I don't even know what it is. But I had this session the other little day. I just got lucky. I had a good session one morning at this spot where no one was surfing and 50 people were surfing up the beach. Maybe told you about that. So then the next day I went back thinking, trying to get it on again, and it wasn't breaking. So I had to walk all the way down the beach, I was as further as you can get here between two car parks. Huh? So, and it just so happened there was these little fun 2 to 3 foot rights draining down the beach. And I surfed that fish that I put up on our Insta. You know, the 20, first
yeah,
20 I've ever come. I loved it, mate. I finally found one. Um, and I surfed for over an hour by myself. It was sunny. It was cold at first, but then it was sunny. And then I turned my head and I saw like four people on the beach, and I was kind of like, yeah, getting a bit of a twitch. You're thinking, I've already had an hour and a bit. It was impossible that I wouldn't at one stage be joined by other surfers. Four of them paddled out, mini males, and then another two that I didn't see from the other side, and then another one. So there were seven of them, and it was a long bank where I didn't really know where to sit. It was these little rights running all the way down the beach, and they basically sat in a circle around me.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was kind of freaking out. I was thinking, like, do you do that? Can I say to these people, like, why are you sitting around me? So I just kept it cool, did a French flat tire, and paddled up the beach 60 meters. And then one of them started following me
That
up the
I'm about
beach.
to say that. I bet you they followed you.
And so I went up the beach. It just so happened that I got a wave when I was up there. So I got my wave a semi long right, and then they all paddled up to that. So then I stayed down, and then there was a lull, and there was actually a bit of, and I was just thinking, like, do you say, look, you don't have to sit next to people, spread out, and you all get a wave.
Yeah, I think it's you're a victim of your own success. You was probably surfing pretty good. You probably made it look fun, and that by the sounds of it, maybe they were like beginners or not super familiar with the area, and they've gone, well, he's surfing there. Let's
They
go
were
do that.
mini malers, Matt. That's not mid lengths. They were mini malers.
So they probably you could have said if you said something in a polite way, it could have been educational, but they probably didn't know better. So
No, that's just being a dickhead. You can't. I couldn't do it, but I was still like the younger Darren would have like started trying to do some sort of paddling tactics where I don't know, you used to love that. Paddle one way and you see him paddling with you and turn around and paddle back the other way.
sounds like you've done half of the job.
Anyway, kook or core, paddle out and
Uh,
sit next to people.
it's kooky. It's for sure
Uh,
kooky.